involving the International Tag Team Champions Raymond and Jacques Rougeau Jr. versus the very large combination of 450-pound Abdullah the Butcher and his supposed partner, Big Joe LeDuc. Well, it turned into a singles match. Jacques Rougeau Jr. versus Abdullah the Butcher. We're not going to dwell on things. There's really not time to spend on a 300-pound wrestler who doesn't have the intestinal fortitude, whatever it requires, to fulfill the terms of a contract that he signed to wrestle in a tag team match. So, we'll talk about the match that was, and it was a singles confrontation between Jacques Rougeau Jr. and Abdullah the Butcher. He's the one, as you can tell. He's big, he's fat, and he's tough, and he's bleeding. Eddie the Brain Creatchman, Gino, as always, accompanied Abdullah the Butcher to ringside. Under the circumstances, Jacques Rougeau Jr. had his brother and partner, Raymond, second him at ringside. And a good move it was. Creatchman has been interfering in Rougeau family affairs for many, many years. At this stage in the match, Jacques Rougeau Jr. obviously had the situation under control, even though, as you can well see, Abdullah the Butcher had that foreign object that he loved to use in his hand. But fortunately, the good eyesight of Jacques Rougeau Jr. prevailed. He took that foreign object, Gino, from Abdullah the Butcher.
That's right, Milt. As you've seen it last year, it could have been Raymond in that ring or Jacques. It doesn't matter. I know one thing for sure. The Rougeaus were ready for that match. And you can see Abdullah getting his right now. And let me tell you, I'm supposed to sit and not be partial. I am partial to the Rougeaus because I don't like a man like Abdullah the Butcher that comes into the ring with a foreign object. And right now he's getting repaid. And we all know what happened to Creatchman, and I love it.
Well, we're going to see it very shortly. Abdullah, all 450 pounds of him flat on that canvas. You can see it right now in the corner. His shoulders are back against that bottom turnbuckle. Jacques Rougeau Jr., I think, just dropped that forearm object out of the ring to brother Raymond, and Raymond's now using it on the forehead of Abdullah Butcher. It almost seems to me that Jacques Rougeau Jr. went over to challenge Eddie the Brain Creatchman. We know, Gino, the Rougeaus have told us many times that Eddie Creatchman has interfered in Rougeau family affairs over the years, going back to their Uncle Johnny, their father, Jacques Rougeau Sr. Well, wrestling fans, you are going to see, as we watch Jacques Rougeau Jr. Look at this. He's trying to backdrop.
450
pounds.
You got to do it, Milt.
Well, he didn't go all the way over, but boy, he tried. And I'll tell you, that to me, it seems like we'll break his back. And now, Jacques Rougeau Jr., this is incredible, Gino. Trying to suplex this 450-pound monster of a man, Abdullah the Butcher. Look at that. He's got a hold of the tights, and he's trying to get almost over, but he did get him off the ground. Of course, didn't get him straight up in the air. That's a ridiculous amount of weight to even try. And
Milt, you're talking about 450 to 500 pounds, but you're what did the damage. The drop kick right on the jaw.
From the second turnbuckle, and a beautiful drop kick it was. And now, here's Eddie Creatchman coming into the ring. Eddie Creatchman, you have no business being inside the ring. You're a manager. Now, here we go. Raymond Rougeau, and I guess caught up in the heat, the excitement of the battle, giving Eddie Creatchman the pile driver. Now, Gino, Brito, Eddie Creatchman deserves to be taught a lesson. Of that, there is no question. But a pile driver? The man's not a professional wrestler. His neck could have been broken, I think. Look at that. And then a knee drop across the chest. Now, I understand feelings were running high. I understand that Jacques Rougeau Jr. was in there, and he destroyed Abdullah in this match virtually. Eddie Creatchman had no business coming into the ring, but to pile drive the man, to knee drop him, and then for two fine young men, and I regard the Rougeaus as such, to take him up in the air like this and double suplex him. Gino, the man is over 50. He's a wrestling manager. He's not in the kind of physical condition that would allow him to survive that kind of treatment. He has a neck brace on. Gino, in my opinion, I think the Rougeaus, in a way, are lucky that Creatchman's neck wasn't broken.
Well, Milt, that's your opinion. I feel that Eddie Creatchman, for years, has been putting his nose in other people's businesses. If he was a manager, he should be outside the ring. He came into the ring, he has to pay the price. Of course, he's not in condition to take a pile driver and a suplex, but he did, fortunately, and thank God that it's not a permanent injury.
Well, not just those, but knee drops. I still think the Rougeaus went too far. He could have been crippled. He could have been injured for life. And I feel that we're fortunate. As much as Creachman deserves to be taught a lesson, I feel that we're all fortunate that permanent, debilitating injury was not suffered by Eddie Creachman. But as a result of what happened, he has put the call out throughout the world of professional wrestling. He wants wrestlers that will end the careers of the Rougeaus, Raymond, and Jacques. And you're going to be shocked, wrestling fans. Money buys professional wrestlers, and Eddie Creachman appears to have bought some very fine professional wrestlers. We'll hear from one of them right now.
I am a professional. I sell my services, as do all of you who are sitting out there and watching me at this moment. You go to work, you get paid for it, so you are a professional. But sometimes professionals overstep their bounds. And to think that during these Christmas holidays that the Rougeaus went beyond professional obligation and took a man who's well into his 50s, who only weighs, what, 155, 160 pounds, and these two huge people picked this little man up in the air together and brought him down crashing to the mat. And, of course, needless to say, they seem to be proud of what they did. So being a professional, I have been contacted by Mr. Creachman. Samu has been contacted by Mr. Creachman. And we have sold our services to Mr. Creachman to take care of a problem that he has. Now, I will tell you what. Under the circumstances that have taken place, Mr. Samu and I would do this for no money at all. We will accept the gratuity. But it is sickening and pathetic that the Rougeaus, this wonderful Quebecan French family, this is the way you operate? Have you no class? I have been told that, in essence, you are the scum of the earth for what you have done. I don't like to put my hands on scum, but Samu and I will. And we'll do it in a very first-class professional manner. And we will possibly not only teach you a wrestling lesson, we will also take and show you to have a little morality and to be ethnically and ethically a very good, sound little family, because you're not, but we'll take care of it.